Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his first look is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Back to throw here. He's going to air one out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
Express! Hey, 734!
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fisher. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll run it here. And only able to muster a couple, down to about the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down. Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board, and a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game, statistically, often ends up the winner.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now back to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays just as what we saw A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night. Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Let's go. Come on. Run. Run to the ball. We got a runner. Hey. You got four. You got four down. Four down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw now on 1st down. That one caught by Gibson. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Open man right side is Ingram. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. Ajayi, first down and more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jay Ajayi, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Throwing his car on 3rd down. He's going to let this one go deep. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tavarius Moore. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, got three. Three down.
They run with Ajayi. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On play action, they'll throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jordan Willis in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will knot us up at 10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Second and 6, just inside the 30. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
To throw on 3rd down, Carr. And an alley to run. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
24.
Now they'll throw with Carr. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And another timeout taken by the Colts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gibson. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you go lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd and short. They'll set up a throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. In on the stop, it was Travarius Moore. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now. And Gostkowski's kick is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
93.
And they'll run it here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Monday down. Get set. Blue 80. Later 2.
Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now it's Lockett. That'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll drop to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. This is Ajayi. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. They run again with Ajayi. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They're going to look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You got him. You got him. You got him. Monday down. Hey, 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he'll go at the 25. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
All right, get set, fellas. Express. We got three, fellas. We got three.
On 1st down, Carr. And that is incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
4 down. Watch 13.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The corner, Perry Nickerson, had the tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
3 down. You're mine. Deuce right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Hey, Monday, down. 180.
Carr now on first down. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, no. They'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Watch it now, Barney!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. This is brought in by Gibson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Now back to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On 3rd down, Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Returnable for Lockett. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And out will come the offense as they take over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for Indy. 48 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So look at this. They'll go for a field goal now to get within a score. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now they try the right side here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
6:37.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Now a handoff looking right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
3 down.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Go Chief.
And they'll run it here. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, 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 gone.
They'll look to throw. And Ingram holds it in. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. He's back to throw. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece up. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Houston, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they will try to turn it around next week as they head down to Carson for a matchup with the LA Chargers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang?